This past Wednesday, 343 and Halo Infinite did an entire hour-and-a-half live stream, basically revealing everything coming next week to Halo Infinite in Season 2, and also what to expect throughout the rest of 2022, and I'm not gonna lie, guys, it was pretty boring, it was pretty unwatchable, so I watched the entire thing for you guys, and I made a list of every single main point that could possibly be important, and I summarized it in this video for you guys. YouTube, it is your favorite gamer here, Above Average Cody, coming at you with, as mentioned, the summary video for the hour-and-a-half live stream that was honestly extremely unwatchable. It was cringe at points, but it had a lot of fantastic information in regards to Halo Infinite, not only Season 2, but also what to expect throughout 2022. We got a lot to get through, so let's jump right into it. And you guys are going to see me referencing my phone a lot because I just took a million notes after watching the entire hour-and-a-half. So they first opened up with literally thanking everybody for their patience and being pretty cool about the whole thing. I mean, you're not going to want to come at your fans with any serious heat or criticism. They basically said thank you for all the feedback. They have plenty of feedback, and then they oddly enough went into a build of Season 2, and the first thing they were excited to show, I have no idea why, was the enemy outline highlights. So you know how the enemies glow and things like that? People wanted more difference or the ability to adjust between their friendlies and their enemies, and they were excited to show that you can literally turn it off. So you can make it so your enemies don't glow, so only your teammates glow, so that it's easier to tell what an enemy is and what isn't. Next, they went on to mention that they are literally getting feedback from everywhere. From basically, they said Twitter, they're getting it from their own team, they're getting it from anybody giving feedback on Waypoint, they're getting it from the pros. They just listed everything off, and they're basically saying they're taking all the feedback into consideration, guys. Not one group of people isn't being considered more than the other group of people. And honestly, guys, they bounced around a lot from talking about internal work and external work, so basically what we're going to see in the game versus what's going on behind the scenes. That wasn't very well organized, but next they went on to talk about they are working on an online board on Halo Waypoint where you can see all of the current projects, where they are in between being like an idea and coming into the game. You could see estimated release dates, things like that. It's not in like officially up yet, but they are working on that so they can have full transparency with us, the gamers, so we know when things new are coming to the game. Finally, they went on to reiterate everything I've already explained to you guys in past videos, the overall update. They changed the battle pass a little bit, and then they talk about the HCS drops. That was just kind of them laying out what was going on in the live stream. Of course, the two new maps, which you could see on the 2022 roadmap, Catalyst and Breaker, I believe the other one is. We're getting 3 modes. We're getting Last Spartan Standing, Land Grab, King of the Hill. We already know all this. I'm not going to go into any details here. There's going to be a lot of events, as I've already laid out in past videos as well. Next, they went on to talk a little bit about the Battle Pass, and the Battle Pass does have direct improvements, which they don't cover when they bring it up. They end up covering it later on in the live stream, so it's just silly. I'm realizing how silly it was, how much they bounced around, because I took the bullets in chronological order, and I'm realizing they didn't go into detail until later on. So they mentioned that. They showed the map teaser for 2 to 3 minutes while they like got ready for the next people to come on the desk. I don't know. And then the new guy came on. It was super cringe. They were like flexing their Halo merch, the Fracture merch, and he tried to make it seem like he wore it in. Then he's like, no, they just threw it at me. It was weird. It was a weird interaction. Anyways, they give a big thank you for being patient again, and they're talking about how they're grinding co-op, Forge, quality of life, just talking again about what's going on behind the scenes. And then they talk again about fixing things people don't like. They want to fix basically everything before they go into any insane content. That's why we're not getting a ton of content loaded onto us right now. They're trying to focus more the stuff that makes the game unplayable, because they realize the first most important thing you are going to notice is something broken in the game, guys. You are going to forget about a new map they put out in 2 months. You are not going to forget about the game being unplayable in 2 months. They also brought up how much they're focusing studio health. This is absolutely nothing to do with me and you, but I love hearing this, guys. I really do. Keep the employees happy. You can't just beat people to death and make them crank out content if they're upset. Like, everybody's got to be happy on a development standpoint and a gaming standpoint. Next up, they did have the cojones to acknowledge the disappointment with the 6-month season, and they explained that they did this on purpose to give more time to prioritize fixing everything that is broken, which we kind of already assumed. If they're always working on content, they can't just keep doing new content every 3 months, which they did mention the goal was originally 3-month seasons. This 6-month season stuff was not the plan at all. It's kind of just happening that way, and they do apologize, and they do plan on getting back to 3 months if they can have less bugs popping up and things like that. 343, they made it very clear that they are not happy with this roadmap. They agree that there is not enough content, and it is painful running a 6-month season. Who's to know if they're actually just saying this to be like, hey guys, we're on your side, or if they actually feel this way. I think they probably do feel this way, because this really is not a lot of content. Like, look at what Call of Duty does and what Fortnite does, like, every season. This is abysmal, and they know that, and they basically are just as disappointed as we are. Next, they poked and prodded this guy about basically what's going on behind the scenes and what the active priorities are. They did mention that the anti-cheat is an ongoing effort, but they are trying to fix it ASAP. They realize it is urgent, but it is not as easy as just like, bang, anti-cheat, everything's fixed. There's a lot behind the scenes going on there. Ranked experience updates. They plan on fixing playlist issues and all of that stuff, which is interesting. I was not sure if they were going to mention ranked, but they did. Network improvements around desync and better way to report bugs, which basically like in-game stuff, so you don't have to go out of your way going online to Halo Waypoint to like tell them what's wrong with the game. And they briefly mentioned Spartan career and a level system. They brought it up. They know that we want it, and that's basically all they said. No time frame, nothing like that. But they did bring up drop pods. It's what they're calling. It's basically like how Call of Duty does their season reloaded, and they do like mid-season content. They want to do drop pods like every month, where they roll out like a mini update, either fixing things or some new content, which they don't always have to be fixing things. They made it clear that sometimes these drop pods will just be fun new content to spice everything up. The biggest thing that they mentioned was at this point when they mentioned they are not going to commit to anything until it is locked in stone. They are not going to promise anything. They are not going to mention a timeline for anything. They are not going to do anything unless it is completely concrete. They do not want to put something out to us and look like the silliest gaming studio known to mankind. Don't overcommit and have to retract, and they kind of just acknowledge their own mistakes there. Next up, they brought up the campaign co-op and mission replay. The guy basically said that he's played builds. They have people playtesting builds, and August sounds realistic, but again, why would he tell us if something's not ready to go? You know, I'm optimistic. I think he means it. But supposedly there are builds that are close to being done, and then August should be the full polished date where it comes out. And the fun little tidbit is Halo insiders will get to play the campaign co-op before it fully rolls out to basically play test and things like that. They did this for the multiplayer many times as well. So if you're not in the Halo Insider program, guys, and you like getting like tidbits of early content, I would definitely go on Halo Waypoint and sign up for that. They also mentioned the beta for Forge. As you guys probably saw, the Forge is listed to be an open beta for Season 3 or the end of Season 2, somewhere in that window. I believe they said September was the time frame. They did address that, and they said it does not mean it is an incomplete build. It is a final build. They're just calling it a beta, basically just making it so the entire community can play it, but there's still a lot of room for improvement. So they're going to roll it out with the title of beta so that the entire community can give a ton of feedback, and then they can fix it as they go on that build. That it is not like a piece of a build that they're giving to you and it's incomplete. They said it's going to have all the features. They're just looking to improve it rather than saying, hey, here's the final copy. That's it. No changes. That's all you get. Next up, they randomly jumped to the lore of Season 2 and Lone Wolves. They basically said Lone Wolves are Spartans deep behind enemy lines, improvising, scavenging, fixing armor, and they're doing like a what if type scenario. So what if Spartans, and this is literally the story, guys. I'm not making this up off the top of my head. They're like, what if Spartans went somewhere and found something dangerous and they brought it back to their headquarters, and then they went into this weird cinematic of a ship where this lady says they're wolves back from the hunt. Cheesiest, I'm trying not to swear, cheesiest line I've ever heard in a cinematic. I mean, it's a Halo Spartan cinematic, and the Spartans are usually, like, not the most, like, in-depth of characters, but cheesiest line I've ever heard in my life, guys. Go back and watch that clip, I swear. And then they go on to completely pick apart the 20-second cinematic. If you're deep into Halo lore, you'll probably love what they did. They just dig way too deep. Like, we watched it wasn't even 20 seconds. It was like 15 seconds. And then they dive into it, and he's talking about it, and supposedly it's just a cut of an entire cutscene that's going to be out next week. I don't know. You're trying to get me riled up over nothing here. But he did mention one really good tidbit about the cinematic. No matter what armor your character is wearing, he will be wearing that in the cutscene. That's sick. I need my cat ears on every Spartan. I need every Spartan to have cat ears. So if I can get my Spartan with cat ears and pink armor in a cinematic, I'm gonna do it. That's awesome. Now, this story and this narrative of, like, the lone wolves will obviously be the theme of the entire season, which you can also see in the armor here. So what I said about, like, scavengers and stuff, like, that's why all this armor here looks the way it does. But this storyline will not just be a Season 2 storyline, then we're on to something completely different. You will see similarities, you will see themes, so it's more through further seasons. So it'll be one long, ongoing story, as opposed to a bunch of little, like, episodes of a show, if you will. And at the 45-minute mark, they started going completely bananas all over the Battle Pass. They're obsessed with the Battle Pass. That was just, like, the Battle Pass section of the stream. I'm going to give you guys the updates, and then they go through all 100 tiers. I neglected to watch that because I don't like all the teasers. I don't want to see every single thing in the Battle Pass before it's out. So basically, they addressed that they changed a lot of the challenges that were very stupid and crazy, like getting Killjoy medals. They just want you to get on and they want you to play the modes. That's it. So they completely dumbed down the challenges and made them very attainable. They did address the store. They want to keep the prices very fair, and they plan to increase customizing the armors and eventually getting rid of the armor core system. And this will actually start with helmets, visors, and coatings. So those three things will be available across all of your armor cores, and then they'll do the rest down the road, because basically, like, you can't take a tiny shoulder pad for one armor core and try to put it to a bigger frame on a different armor core. So there's a lot of adjusting and things they have to do there. That's why the rest will come down the road. They did mention the pro skins and the kits. They are working to have that on all forms of armor customization. Awesome. I need cat ears on my optic skin. That's all I need, really. And now with the Battle Pass, you can go back to the old ones, guys, so you can switch back and forth, but you can only work on one Battle Pass at a time. So if you want to go back and finish Season 1, you can only do Season 1, or if you want to do Season 2, you won't be gaining progression on Season 1. But if you did not buy Season 1, you cannot go back and work on it. That's it. But you can buy it, of course, guys. You can give them your money to go back to Season 1 to finish it. But if you were just farming the free tiers and you didn't finish, that's it unless you buy it. You can't go back and do it. So if you're a freebie person, you don't like buying the Battle Pass, you can only work on the current season's Battle Pass. And then, as mentioned, they went through all 100 tiers, and using the little YouTube slider thing, and I could see the, like, preview. I did not look at any of the tiers. They randomly did a quick little teaser of some AI hacking into a computer. I don't know. It's a teaser. It'll probably make a lot more sense later on. If you're curious, go watch the live stream. I don't know what to tell you guys. And the final thing that they did mention was there will be a full rank reset with all the new rank updates or whatever tuning they did. Probably not much, but they will be resetting rank, guys, so we'll have to re-drop into our placement matches and stuff like that. And then start our climbs back to Onyx, and then at the end of the live stream, they did mention Halo HCS, the Halo Championship Series. Kansas City is this weekend, starting probably around the time I upload this video. So take this as your friendly reminder to go watch and get all your Twitch drops and stuff. I say this like I'm sponsored by 343 or something, but I'm not. But the Twitch drops are pretty cool because I watch the HCS anyway, so anytime I could scoff some free customization pieces for my game, I always do that. But yeah, guys, that is literally the hour-and-a-half live stream in what is hopefully not a super-duper long video, I don't think. If you guys go check out the live stream, check the comments section. There's a lot of funny comments there. I kind of feel bad for how much they're getting ripped, but I give them credit for acknowledging it all and realizing their mistakes and realistically trying to fix them. But all right, guys, this video is already way too long. At this point, you may as well just go watch the hour-and-a-half live stream. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please subscribe, like, comment, buy the channel membership if you want, all that good stuff. But that's it for me, guys. That's too much talking. I'm going to drink a bucket of water. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate you all. Stay happy, stay healthy, and stay tuned for the next video.